students. I hope all of you are doing great. And now we are going to start the third lecture of our chapter, that is coal and petroleum. Now we have already discussed about coal and we have already discussed that what are the components that are made from coal and what are the uses of coal. Now comes the second part of our chapter, that is petroleum. Now we are going to study about petroleum in this lecture, and the very first topic we are going to talk about is petroleum itself. And petroleum, we all know that petroleum is a fossil fuel. Now what is petroleum derived? Like how petroleum, the name given is petroleum. So petroleum, the name given is basically Petra. Petra means rock and oleum means oil. So it is basically petroleum means rock oil. Petroleum means rock oil and it is a fossil fuel. We all know that petroleum is a fossil fuel, and this means the meaning of petroleum is rock oil. Also, petroleum is a mixture of, it is a complex mixture of several solid, liquid. It is a complex mixture. Complex means it is not very easy to decompose petroleum, and it is a complex mixture of various solid, liquid, and gaseous hydrocarbons. And gaseous hydrocarbons mixed with, and they are mixed with water, salt, and earthy particles. And earthy particles. Also, petroleum, it is a dark colored, foul smelling. It is how does petroleum look like is, it is a dark colored, it is a dark colored, foul smelling, foul smelling and viscous liquid. And viscous liquid, and it is lighter than water. Of course, petroleum will be lighter than water. It is lighter than water. It is lighter than water. It is lighter than water, and it is insoluble in water. And insoluble in water. Also, petroleum is also called as black gold. Petroleum is called as black gold. Why it is called as black gold? Petroleum is called black gold due to its great commercial importance, because it is very important commercially due to its Great commercial importance. We all know that if the prices of petrol are high, then then prices of all the things will be high. So it has a great commercial importance. That's why it is called as black gold. It has a great commercial importance. And the unrefined form of petroleum is called as crude oil. The unrefined form of petroleum is called as crude oil, and we are going to talk about the petrochemicals here. Now, what are petrochemicals? Petrochemicals, when large number of compounds are prepared from hydrocarbon, large number of compounds are prepared from hydrocarbons. Large number of compounds are prepared from hydrocarbons, which are obtained from petroleum only, which are obtained from petroleum, are called petrochemicals, are called petrochemicals, and they are used in the manufacture of detergents, and these petrochemicals are used in the manufacture of they are used in the manufacture of detergents, synthetic fibers, synthetic fibers, plastics, perfumes, dyes, drugs, fertilizers, etc. Fertilizers, etc. Also, most of the world depends on petroleum. Most of the world, we all know that petrol is a very important, petroleum products that are petrol and diesel are very important. So most of the world depends on petroleum. Most of the world depends on petroleum. That is why price of oil is so important for us. Price of oil is so important. That is why price of oil is so important for us. Now, the next topic that we are going to study about is how petroleum was formed. So how petroleum was formed, it is believed that millions of years ago, the microscopic plants and animals which lived in seas died. Of course, there are aquatic life in seas also. So it is believed that millions of years ago, that millions of years ago, the microscopic plants and animals, the microscopic plants and animals the microscopic plants and animals which lived in seas died. And what happens that their bodies sank to the bottom of the sea. When they died, their bodies sank and they just sank to the bottom of the sea. Their bodies sank to the bottom of the sea and were soon recovered with layers of sand and clay. And they were soon recovered and were soon layered with or layered with sand and clay, sand and clay, and over a period of million years, these remains in the absence of air, and when over a period of million years, these remains stay there in the absence of air, in the absence of air, and these remains were got converted into petroleum. They got converted into petroleum. They got converted into petroleum under the combined effect of high temperature, under the combined effect. So whenever a fossil fuel is formed, it is formed under the high temperature, high pressure and bacteria. Under the combined effect of high temperature, high pressure and bacteria. Also, we are going to discuss where the petroleum does found, and here, as you can see in the diagram also, that there is the earth crust and here is impervious rock and here is impervious rock, and petroleum is present here. In the between of both the rocks, petroleum is present. In between the rocks, petroleum is present and natural gas is present here also. Now we obtain petroleum by the drilling rig. We obtain the petroleum by drilling, and we obtain the petroleum by drilling rig. Now the petroleum so formed through the petroleum. We know that the petroleum was formed in the aquatic life. So petroleum formed passed through porous rocks. They passed through porous rocks. They passed through porous rocks until it got trapped between some impervious rocks. Until it got trapped. Until it got trapped between the impervious rocks. between, so petroleum is trapped between the impervious rocks here. As you can see, petroleum is trapped between the impervious rocks, between some impervious rocks, some impervious rocks, and the natural gas always occur above the petroleum. As you can see, the natural gas always occur above the petroleum. So we are going to talk about the natural gas also. The natural gas, we are going to talk about natural gas in this chapter also. Natural gas occurs above petroleum, above the petroleum, under earth, under earth. Now the next topic that we are going to discuss about is mining of petroleum. Now how mining is done of petroleum, as we have seen the drilling rig in the previous slide. Now petroleum is obtained by drilling holes only. Petroleum is obtained by drilling holes. Petroleum is obtained by drilling holes, or we can say oil wells into the earth crust, into the earth's crust, where the presence of oil has been predicted. Now petroleum drilling is done only where the presence of oil has been predicted. Okay, so nowhere else is done petroleum drilling, but where oil can be obtained, where the presence of oil, where the presence of oil has been predicted by survey, has been predicted by survey. Also, when a well is drilled through the rocks, now oil wells, we are talking about oil wells. So when a well is dig, when a well is drilled through the rocks, when a well is drilled through the rocks, so the natural gas comes first with great pressure. The natural gas comes first with great pressure, and after some time the oil comes out by itself, and after some time, and after some time the oil comes out, after some time the oil comes out by itself due to gas pressure, due to gas pressure. Also, after the pressure has subsided, the crude oil is pumped out from the oil well. After the pressure is subsided, even after we are removing the pressure, after the pressure is subsided, oil pumped out of the oil well. The crude oil is then pumped out of the oil well. Now we are going to look at where the mining can be done, or where are the mining oils are done. So the first oil well, the very first oil well, the first oil well was drilled in Pennsylvania. The very first oil well was drilled in Pennsylvania, that is in USA, in 1859. And oil was struck in India, and then oil was struck in India in 1867 at Makkam in Assam. At Makkam in Assam. And it is called non-renewable energy. And petroleum is a non-renewable energy because it is formed in millions of years. So it is called a non-renewable energy because it takes millions of years to form. Because it takes millions of years to form, and we may not have new petroleum reserves, and we cannot make this is not possible for humans to make new petroleum reserves also. So once they are finished, then they are finished for the whole generation. We cannot make new petroleum reserves. Now, the next topic that we are going to look at is oil production in India. Now, where is the oil being produced in India, and where are the oil wells are in India? We are going to discuss that. Now, some of the places in our country where petroleum is being produced from oil wells are, the very first place is Ankleshwar, and Kalol in Gujarat. Ankleshwar and Kalol in Gujarat. The next is Rudrasagar and Lakwa. The next is Rudrasagar and Lakwa in Assam. The third is Bombay High, and it is an offshore area. It is a Bombay High. It is offshore area. The fourth one is deltas of Kaveri, deltas of Kaveri, Krishna, and Godavari rivers. And these are the major oil productions in India. And not only this, the exploration of more oil is going on as we need more oil and as we need more petrol and diesel in our country. So exploration of more oil is going on under the supervision of under the supervision of oil and natural gas oil and natural gas oil and natural gas corporation limited, that is also called as ONGC, throughout the country throughout the country. Now the next topic that we are going to study about is petroleum refineries. We have seen the oil production. Now we are going to see the petroleum refineries. That where are the petroleum refineries in India? So there are about a dozen oil refineries in our country. There are about a dozen oil refineries or petroleum refineries in our country. Refineries means where they are refined. Refineries in our country, that means where the petroleum is purified and converted into various products. So the oil refineries are located at the oil refineries are located at Mumbai, Chennai, Mathura. So these are the cities and where oil refineries are located. Digboi, Guwahati, Guwahati, Kochi, Koyali, and Visakhapatnam. So these are the major oil refineries in the country, Visakhapatnam, and that's why they have their and that's why they are the economical cities of the countries as well. And the oldest oil refinery in India is the oldest oil refinery in India. The oldest oil refinery in India is at Digboi, at Digboi in Assam, and it is established in 1901 and is established in 1901. Now, the next topic that we are going to look at is refining of petroleum. Now, how petroleum refining is done. We have studied where are the petroleum refineries. Now, how petroleum refining of petroleum is done. We all know that petroleum is a mixture of various constituents. Petroleum is a mixture Petroleum is a mixture of various constituents such as petroleum gas, petrol, diesel, lubricating oil. Paraffin wax is also obtained from petroleum. Paraffin wax, it is a wax and it is also obtained from petroleum. So paraffin wax, etc. And the process of separating the various constituents and the process of separating the various constituents the process of separating the various constituents of various constituents or fractions of petroleum is called as refining, and this process is called as refining, and it is carried out in a petroleum refineries which we have studied earlier, and it is carried out in petroleum refinery Now we are going to look at how it is carried out and what are the various products that are formed. Now, the petroleum refining is done by fractional distillation of petroleum. It is done by the fractional distillation, and as you can see, as crude oil is here in the furnace, and then furnace it is heated up to different degrees Celsius, and at 150 degrees Celsius petrol is being separated, at 200 kerosene is separated, at 300 diesel oil is separated, and at 370 fuel oil is separated, and the various other mixtures above 400, if the temperature goes, then these other mixtures are also separated, and gas is separated at 20 degrees Celsius only. So we are going to look at the various components that are formed, and the very first is gasoline or petrol. Now, the very first product we obtain is gasoline. The very first product we obtain is gasoline or petrol, and the boiling point of gasoline or petrol is between 150 degrees Celsius. and the uses are gaseous. It is used as a fuel in vehicle, and the use is it is used as a fuel in vehicle. It is used as a fuel in vehicle. Now the next product that we obtain is kerosene, and kerosene is obtained at 200 degrees Celsius, and the use of kerosene is in lamps, as oil, and as household fuel also. Kerosene is also used as household fuel. The third product that we obtain is diesel oil. Diesel oil, and diesel oil is obtained at 300 degrees Celsius, and the use of diesel oil is as a fuel in diesel engines. It is used as a fuel in diesel engines. As a fuel in diesel engines. Now, the next products that we obtain is lubricating oil. Lubricating oil, and these are the products we obtain above 400 degrees Celsius. So, lubricating oil, and the use of lubricating oil is as a lubricant. It is used as a lubricant. The next is we obtain is Vaseline also. We obtain Vaseline, and Vaseline is used in medicine as lubricant. It is used in medicines as lubricant, and also as petroleum jelly. And Vaseline is also used as petroleum jelly. As you have seen that in winters we use petroleum jelly and Vaseline on for various uses. Now the next is paraffin wax, and paraffin wax is used in candles. It is used in candles. It is used in candles, shoe polish, and paper. And the next is we obtain petroleum coke. Petroleum coke. And petroleum coke is used as a coal tar. It is used as a coal tar. So these are the various uses and various products obtained from the fractional distillation of petroleum, and fractional distillation is done because their boiling points are different. Now with this, we are going to end the lecture here only, and thank you everyone.